I want to talk about Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I think we should.
Because he should not play versus the Ravens for injury reasons. Why would you risk that? You have the bye next week. Don't even play him. I am not going to lie to you. I am starting to have second thoughts about Kenny Pickett. And everyone's going to say, well, let's wait and see what he can do with a real offensive coordinator. Let's see what he can do away from Matt Canada. And I agree. I think that's going to help this entire offense a lot. That's going to help the morale. That's going to help the offense, their execution, the way they just work on the field, exercise the field. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right in that statement. In fact, that's the little string of hope I'm holding on to with Kenny is let's see what he can do with a competent offensive coordinator. I agree. But I'm going to stick away from that right now because I want to talk about Kenny Pickett, the quarterback. Okay? He has been dog shit this year. He has had a sophomore slump. And yes, blame some on Canada. The plays have been shit. We know that. We've been
You can feel the offense is just very limited.
And it's been happening with every single quarterback that Canada has been under. Or every quarterback that's been under Canada for that matter. But what we see with Kenny Pickett, with what he has as a quarterback and what he's been doing on the field, his decision-making, his pocket movement, his pocket presence, his patience, the throws he's made, which has been very inconsistent, very inaccurate.
And very forced at this point, too.
And even his reads, and yes, he is playing scared. Whether he's playing scared because he doesn't trust the line or he's playing scared because he's afraid of making a decision. Very much like Mitch Trubisky last year.
But see, that's a problem. That's a problem. Let's not forget. The players voted Kenny Pickett as a captain. Why should a captain be scared? You know what I'm saying?
He should not be scared. He should not.
Why should he? He should have his full confidence in everybody. And he's playing scared. That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem for Kenny Pickett. And he's definitely got some things that sometimes coaches or coaching can't really fix. He's got to fix it.
Yes, because
he himself has to fix it.
Some of these have actually been concerned since coming out of Pittsburgh College when he was with the Panthers. His pocket movement and him bouncing out of the pocket and using his legs to escape pressure. And yes, he absolutely has to do that way too often because this line sucks. And that's another thing. He also can't sit in the pocket too long because he doesn't have time. He doesn't. It's almost like watching the Giants' offensive line. He has no fucking time to do anything.
Yeah.
So I understand that factor. And in translation, he doesn't trust the line. So that has led to him now bouncing out the pocket and making poor decisions and making bad habits as a pocket passer, which caused him to get sacked and hurt on that 4th and 1 play.
But there would be times, and it was very evident in that Texas game, there would be times where he just does it way too early, way too soon. For no reason.
I understand why he doesn't trust the line. And yes, some of the play design by Canada is motioning his quarterback out the pocket, which has caused a common habit for Kenny Pickett. Because we saw the same drawn-up plays where it's a snap and they roll out to the left or right and it's a sideline shot. We saw that with Ben when he was very immobile. We saw that with Mitch, and we should continue to see it as long as he's OC. And now we're seeing it too often with Kenny. It's not just him escaping pressure. Some play designs are drawn up for him to motion out the pocket and throw towards the sideline.
Yeah.
It happens too often, and because of that, it's become a terrible habit for Kenny. Not just because of the poor play designs, not just because of his prior plays and his prior experience from the Panthers, but also, yes, he doesn't trust the line. It has led to terrible habits from Kenny Pickett, where he himself needs to grow.
Yeah.
Blame the line, blame Canada all you want, and we would love to see what he can do with hopefully soon improved offensive line with Broderick Jones starting more and the O-line starting to gel, and hopefully a better offensive line scheme because Pat Meyer ought to go with Canada.
Yeah.
Because they both suck. The entire offensive scheme in general, everything sucks.
There is stuff that Kenny Pickett does need help with when it comes to coaching, for sure. Because Canada and his development and his scheme is not fitting for Pickett.
But we are talking Kenny Pickett as a quarterback and in his fundamentals and what we have seen in year 2 so far. And there's been some mistakes leading back to when he was in college. He uses his legs too much to bounce out the pocket when he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
He's making poor decisions. He's thrown too many interceptions. It's upsetting, actually.
And I like to think, because we know Kenny Pickett is a football junkie. He's a football guru. The guy craves to be successful. The guy craves to win.
Yeah.
I would like to think that he would work on this. He still can. He absolutely still can.
Yeah,
But
I have some confidence he will.
But at the moment, it's just not striking, and it's not hitting, and it's not showing. And it is worrisome. And it's okay to be worried.
Yes, it's okay to be worried. It's also one of those things where if we keep seeing it, if we see it more down the road this year, if it's stuff that we see in year 3 and so, then yeah, we're gonna have a problem.
Big problem.
And we're looking at what will eventually be a bust if this keeps happening. He has improved in some phases from his rookie year to this year. You saw it in preseason, but so far none of that in preseason is translated to the regular season, and that's in a lot of aspects, but especially when it comes to Kenny. So it's disappointing. From a second-year guy, you want to see a jump, especially early on into the season.
Being a first-round pick and everything. The only quarterback selected in the first round. And I know the quarterback class was pretty bare last year, but I mean, we took a chance on the guy.
Yeah.
We took a chance on the guy, and his resume did help too, where he came from.
Right.
But that's where Pickett needs to show why we took him. That's where Pickett needs to showcase that he can be the guy for us.
Yeah.
And I know he wants to. Deep down, he wants to.
Well, I always say, man, there's 2 things that he is always on. It's field and film, the 2 Fs. So as long as he continues to do that and understands his mistakes and continues to work on it, we should all be a little optimistic he's going to grow in those fundamentals and in those aspects. And hopefully, if the Steelers actually want to grow a fucking spine and get a competent coordinator to improve Kenny Pickett as a passer and work with him closer and give him some extra reason to thrive and give us some hope for this offense down the road, then yes, then we're looking at something promising. But so far this year, not looking good.
No.
And you can't just blame the line. You can't put it all on Canada either, man. You got to watch the game. You got to watch how Kenny has worked. It's been terrible. It's been very, very, very poor. So Kenny needs to grow. Kenny needs to watch this. He needs to watch the film. He needs to understand his mistakes, and he just needs to work on it. He's a guy that definitely does so. He's done that in certain factors already. So as long as he continues to do that, hopefully he can have a better season down the line. But under this administration, I'm not so sure.
No.
So in that hopes, we might have to wait a while to see that from Kenny Pickett.
And some of it does fall on the Steelers, too, because of their desire to keep this guy here.
Yeah.
He being Canada. It does fall on him. It's a full collective mess on all parties. That's where they got to fix it.
Yeah. So that's what we just wanted to get into with Kenny, because it's been something that's obviously been brewing throughout the season as we continue to watch Kenny Pickett in his second year. This is the guy we're going with. This is ideally the future franchise. You drafted him 20th overall, the only first-round quarterback last year, and what was absolutely a terrible quarterback draft class. I mean, we knew that. The class wasn't stacked. The class was not great whatsoever. Kenny was the most NFL ready and arguably the best in that draft class, but that doesn't mean it was a great class.
At the time, he looked the best. At the time, but right now, he's certainly not.
Right. And coaching does play a factor, yes. But again, you got to watch Kenny and how he actually plays the quarterback position. He's acting scared out there in some ways. He has to find trust in his line. He needs to work as a pocket quarterback. I think that would be his biggest step, is working in the pocket, finding patience and composure as a pocket quarterback. Trust your line more. Stop rolling out. Trust the pocket. Trust the box.
Don't panic.
Bounce when it's necessary.
And be calm and composed. You can't run scared once a defender just takes a step forward and then you got to run.
And there's no excuse for Kenny. No excuse for Kenny.
No. And we're heading to the bye week. So and after that bye week,
yeah, he's gonna have to step it up.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to step it up. I mean, this offense won't, but he himself is gonna have to show some potential.
Well, truly, as far as Kenny goes, is as far as the team goes.
Oh, absolutely. And that's even if we get a new administration and a new OC, if that day ever comes, I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
But if that day ever comes, then yes, it's truly gonna be make or break for Kenny. But so far, it's been unfortunate. It's been underwhelming. This is not the jump we anticipated. And one more time, you can't put it all on the line. You can't put it all on Canada. Kenny has been shit. And that doesn't make me a Kenny Pickett hater. I am repping the Kenny Pickett towel right now. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'm sporting this every Sunday. That's my guy. But he's been disappointing lately. So, Kenny, it's time to work. It's time to roll, man. It's time to start stepping up. After this injury, once you're fully healthy, it's time to get going, man. I'm hoping he understands what happened on that 4th and 1 play. He knew he messed up. He knows he's hurt. He's like, fuck, that's my fault.
All I can really do is use all these errors he's done is as a learning experience, a learning curve.
It better be. It's better be.
That's all he can do with this.
Otherwise, if he continues to regress, this is not going to look good whatsoever. And the Steelers might have to look at upgrading the position. We might be looking at a Jet situation with Zach Wilson or Sam Darnold. We don't want that.
No, absolutely not.
We don't want that. Why would we want that? Why would we want that?
Nonetheless, we'll see what Pickett does.
Yeah, we'll see what Pickett does.